Welcome, fearless dreamers. This is the fifth episode of the Unstoppable Immigrant podcast. I am Martina, your host and pilot, and today we have a special co pilot, Zina, who's also known as the Gastrodiva. Today she's taking us on a journey to Russia and Israel. So buckle up because this journey is full of laughter, lessons, and unstoppable energy. Cabin crew, prepare for takeoff. All right, dear listeners, I'm super excited because today we have our special guest, Zina. Zina, known as a Gastrodiva. Welcome to the Unstoppable Immigrant
Thank you.
podcast.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me. I'm
course.
really excited and waiting for your questions.
Yay, let's dive into it. All right, straight up, tell to our listeners where is the Gastrodiva from?
So, originally, I'm from Russia. I was born in Samara city. It's the big one, but not the capital of Russia, as it is Moscow. But then I moved to St. Petersburg. Maybe you heard about this city.
Familiar.
I love it with all my heart. So from 18 years I moved from my parents' nest, and then I moved to St. Petersburg, and in 2022 we moved from Russia to Israel, and only in August we moved finally to Miami, and I'm here in your podcast.
Wow, that was quite a journey. But
Yeah.
let's get back to Russia. I want to know more about how was the childhood in Russia? How was your life over there growing up? How was it to be a beautiful little girl in Russia back in time?
I think childhood depends on not on the country but on parents.
Yes.
So I'm very lucky child, and so I had very happy childhood. I told you about Samara city. There is a big river called Volga River.
Volga?
Volga, yes. So all my childhood, all my summers, and I spent on the Volga River. There was a beach, the forest, so berry hunting, mushroom hunting, fishing. This was my childhood, and I'm happy to remind this with you.
Yes, yes. We have this in common because you're from Russia, I'm from Slovakia. Mushroom hunting is a big thing back home. That reminds me a lot of my childhood too. So I'm glad that we share that. It's like very unique and it's fun and it's being in the nature. I really appreciate that. We certainly cannot do that in Miami. So
Yes, I think in childhood we even can't value this. It's like the basic thing that we have. And
yes,
now becoming adult, we start to spend more time with the nature.
yes, we appreciate it now more
Yeah.
than before.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you had a pretty great childhood in Russia, and then tell us like from Russia to Israel. You moved alone or with your family? What was the reasoning? Like what happened that you guys left Russia to Israel?
So we moved with my family, with my husband and my daughter. At that moment, she was 2.5. We weren't ready yet. It happened because of war, which started between Russia and Ukraine, and so that's why we decided to move to Israel. We chose Israel because we are Jewish, and it was the easiest way, like to go somewhere.
That is
And,
familiar and
yes.
feels connected to your religion and yeah.
Yes, and I have a family also in Israel. My grandmother, my aunt, a lot of friends. So it was we were absolutely unprepared, but Israel as state is very helpful. So people here are really outgoing and are ready to help in everything. So we were like, everybody was curious about how we are doing, how they can help us, etc.
Caring, loving.
So yes, of course, it was very difficult as all the immigration
Yes.
journey, but I also love this chapter of my life.
Oh my god, I love that. Yes, because it's something new. And you moved from Russia with your entire family, so you have a husband and you're also a mom. So tell us more about like a little bit about your family.
I met my husband when I was 18 years old.
In
So
Russia.
in Russia, yes, and it was like how it's calling in English from the
heart.
first view.
Love on the first sight. That's love on the first sight.
So yeah, it was love on the first
Oh,
sight.
that's a beautiful
yeah.
story.
Yeah, we have very romantic story, and so
I think we
by
wanna know. Do we wanna know? We wanna know. Now when you started, I wanna hear the romantic story.
So, by the way, we met in Samara city before 2 months. I had to go to St. Petersburg to study in university. So we had first our year of relationships. It was distance,
Long distance.
long distance, yes. And after this year, he moved to St. Petersburg. So after a few years, we got married. After a few years, we became parents, and that's it. So we were packed to start our immigration journey.
But it's awesome that you did this whole process together. You know, you guys were together going through all the hardships and everything. And
Yeah.
I'm sure it was like tough decision to say goodbye to Russia and then go to Israel. Like that alone is already a huge step. So
Definitely, definitely. And I'm always telling to my husband that if we weren't together, I, I wouldn't be so brave to make such decisions, to make two immigration in
To
my
immigrate.
life. Yeah, of course, there is another side, like to immigrate with a little daughter is also like, some stuff with the kindergarten, schools, languages, and all of this. But being together is the key thing in all this process.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So from Russia moved to Israel because of the war in Russia, correct?
Mostly, yeah.
And then how long you were in Israel? And where in Israel?
In Israel, we lived in Petah Tikva. It is a small city not so far from Tel Aviv. We lived in Israel for, I guess, year and a half.
1 year and a half.
Yeah.
And how was to live in Israel compared to Russia?
I wouldn't compare it, frankly
Okay.
speaking, because it's totally different experience. And before moving to Russia, of course, we visited Israel for, I don't know, like a lot of times, like every year, every half of the year, as I have family in Israel, a lot of friends. So I was ready for the country I'm going into, but like in general now, like retrospective, I can say that I love Israel. There is always the space in my heart for this country. I love the Israel, and mostly, Israel, it means for me people. Because when we are talking, for example, about Russia or Slovakia, we talked about nature, about mushrooms, berries, and all things. And when I'm thinking about Israel, it's people, and it is the most. So I love Israel people.
Okay.
And but the life in Israel wasn't easy for me. I didn't feel in Israel as it is my place. So it is.
Like you
I know
belong
it
or
is
it's
my
home.
place, but when I'm on distance, I don't know how to explain this. When I'm inside, I think I have different mentality.
Do you speak Hebrew?
No, ktsat ktsat, we call it in Hebrew, like
Little bit.
so-so.
So.
But it's even worse than so-so.
Okay. I'm just asking because it is common to like speak Hebrew if people go to
Yes,
Israel. So.
language, especially Hebrew language, is a big part of the country, of the culture,
Yes.
and if you doesn't speak, you're like,
Excluded in a way a
yeah,
little bit,
and
yeah.
also because of all this 1 year and a half, we were in between. We didn't know if it's our final destination or no, and frankly speaking, we knew that it isn't final, and I didn't feel the motivation to learn Hebrew. I really tried. I spent like 3 months in language school in Israel. It's called Ulpan. So it's free for immigrants. For
Oh, that's awesome. I like that.
yeah, it's Israel is doing a lot of things for
Immigrants
immigrants,
to help them adapt.
especially for
I love
Jewish
that.
immigrants. Yeah, and so I'm really grateful for Israel for all this country gave us. But it's really hard. And in um, in language learning, it's always about motivation. So if you need
Yes.
this language, you will learn it. If no, no chance.
Fun fact, I actually studied Hebrew as well.
Wow.
Yes,
Tell me.
here in Miami. Because when I moved here, I've learned that this city has a huge Latin influence, but also Israeli Jewish influence. And I was like, okay, I already speak Spanish, so now my next language to learn would be
Wow.
Hebrew. And I had a teacher who would like teach me to do from Hebrew to English. And from English, I would translate it to my native Slovakian language. And I think my brain just couldn't comprehend that. And I find Hebrew to be difficult language, and it sounds very I think it's beautiful language. It's just for learning it's quite a challenge because it's a lot of and like the grammar it's really complicated.
Yeah, starting from alphabet. Yeah,
Oh, the
starting
alphabet,
off that we
forget
are
it.
writing from different sides.
Yes,
and
different yeah, and yes. So like all I remember from like the lessons is just ani reva, which means I'm hungry.
I don't know this.
Yeah, I just remember the most important things to
I'm
survive
not
life.
hungry. I'm Gastrodiva.
Yes, you gotta know that as a Gastrodiva. So just like stuff like that, like ani reva, I'm hungry. Laila tov is good night.
Laila tov.
Boker tov is good morning.
Yeah.
Moteg is love.
Yeah. Most important things.
Yeah, the most yes. And then I remember Ken, which is yes. Can law is no, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's about it
So,
from my Hebrew.
this means ktsat ktsat.
So.
Me knows the same.
Yes, or Makore, what's up? Yes. That's awesome that I like. So, tell us how it was to do all of this with the daughter because you are a mom. So, I immigrated by myself, so I was responsible only for myself. But you have a daughter and a family, and that's completely different setup because it's not only about you; it's also about what works for you as a family, what works for you as a mom, what works for your daughter, and how she likes it, how she adapts to it. So tell us, how was the immigration from Russia to Israel as a mom as well?
I think we were lacking talking about the age of her immigration because 2 years and a half, it's a perfect age, I think, because, for example, now in Miami, she thinks like that her home is in Israel because she doesn't remember the time in Russia. Yes, all her friends are in Israel, so now she's missing her Israeli friends. And it's funny for me, for example, because it's other thing. So I think in immigration and also in general life, the main thing in parenting is how you feel.
Yes.
So, as an airplane, first put the mask on yourself and then on your kid.
Yes.
And so in immigration, all our journey talking about our daughter starts from searching the kindergarten. This is exactly the mask for parents. So to be free to continue doing, all these like apartment stuff or job and all these things.
So your daughter, she basically doesn't really remember much of Russia because she was very young, and now she is still remembering Israel. But if you stay in Miami long enough, she's not gonna probably remember Israel either, right?
Let's see, yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes she tells me like, "Mom, I want to Israel back," and it is like there is some kind of feeling of missing something, especially friends. So for
Yes.
kids, the one also for adults like family and friends.
Yes.
This is the main thing.
Yes. And why from Russia to Miami? Let's talk now about America.
Okay. It is the other story. So talking about America, our first time visiting America together with my husband was 2018. Previously, I've visited America 2 times with my previous work, and from this time, I think I'm not sure we were fall in love with America, but this kind of American dream, this kind of global opportunities, yes, we were really inspired, and from this moment we had a dream. Like it was really a dream, not the purpose. A dream. Like we were thinking, we were talking, but that's it. There were no um,
No action yet?
no action, no
Okay.
action. Yeah, but life helped us very well. So first, and it was also, I think, easier for us to do it step by step. Not from Russia to America, but from Russia to Israel and then to
Yes.
America. It was easier because, like, we remembering ourselves as person, like, so now it's 2025, so 3 years ago we were completely different. So this
Yes.
immigration journey is always self improvement, and
Yes.
now I really feel that we can do it in America.
Yes. We can do anything.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And okay, so yes. So what was like the reason why Miami though? Like why exactly Miami?
Okay, so uh, we also dramatically moved from Israel because of the war in Israel.
So you've
Yeah.
experienced 2 wars.
Yes, unfortunately.
goodness.
Yeah, but in Russia we didn't experience the war as war is. It was like there is no war
Like
on that time.
fights or
Yes,
bombing or
yeah,
any of that.
for Russia, yeah. Um, but in Israel, so we wake up on October 7th with the bombs and all these sounds, and so it was like really nightmare. Like, it's even quite hard to talk even now. So we felt what the war is in reality, and also there was a story before, like 2 weeks before the October 7th. I we returned back to Israel from our summer vacation, and I told my husband, like, I don't feel I want to live here, and we have to make a decision what is next. But it is a really difficult decision,
Yes.
especially when it was like we only started to breathe after our immigration from Russia to Israel, and I suggested him to invite a coach to make coach session, like we are together with husband and a coach.
I love
And
that.
after this coach session, it was exactly 2 weeks before the war, we made a decision that we want to move to US um, in a year. So it was September, and in May, our lease in Israel is
Was ending.
ending. Was ending, yes, and we decided like to plan it for May, to prepare all the documents, like finance and mental health for next immigration. And when the October 7th happened, we understood, like, first we decided to move from Israel for some time, because when I was looking to my daughter, I was seeing she was really nervous. I was nervous. In that time, I understood also that I'm not true Israeli, like, because it was talking about Israeli people. It is unbelievable how nation is supporting each other. How I felt love. So there was a day. Everybody, of course, was first days were sitting at home, and there was an evening when everybody um, came at the balconies and they were singing songs about Israel, about,
Oh my
it is the
god.
war in the country, yes,
I'm gonna
and
cry.
it's something I can't imagine it in different places. Yeah, it's very touching, and so the decision was difficult for was difficult for us, but we decided to move away from this war with our daughter. We moved to Italy, so the journey begins. We moved to Italy, and after like 2 weeks, we understood that the war is for a long time, and we won't come back. And we started packing our clothes online with my friends, and we started doing steps to America. So I've started making a deal with the visa process, and so returning to your question, why Miami exactly? So we planned a trip to America. We had like four options in our mind only. So it was New York, Miami, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. Frankly speaking, Miami was on the last place, as it usual, as it
Okay.
is, yeah. And
Why?
yeah,
Why was it the last and not the
I
first?
don't know, like speaking about like job opportunities, about everybody told us that we will choose Los Angeles because my husband, he's YouTube producer, and it seems like the industry is over
There.
there. Um, but finally, and we visited Miami for 3 or 4 days just to chill after New York. It was exactly a year ago, by the way. So after all our trip, we New York, Miami, San Francisco, Los Angeles. We stopped to Los Angeles, and our how to say, so we thought that after this trip we will have the answer, like, oh wow, I love this place, I know what to do. But there was no the answer, and so we have to make the decision again. And somehow we chose Miami, for I think for its weather. Also, as I'm a blogger and my husband works with bloggers, there are also plenty of opportunities. Right now, exactly, it changed. Like, I think 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it was different.
For sure.
And I think also prices in Miami, comparing with the
Other places.
I'm talking about
San
apartments.
Francisco
Yes,
and compare.
it is like a little bit more, feels more comfortable.
Yes. And how was it to pack and constantly relocate? Because just to move around the apartment is already a headache, and not to even switch countries with family and a child. How did you do all that? I need to know.
You know, I think my memory deleted all these things because it was really nightmare. Like all our lives in three baggage claim, and it was like every time. I remember when we came to Miami, I had only 10 items of my clothes, and I had not time. So for me, it was really hard to go for shopping because it is like I also have to make decisions about clothes, and I didn't want it to do
You
this.
didn't want to make decisions.
Yes, for me it was better like having these 10 clothes, and so it was always changing. I throw my coats, jackets in New York City, then it was like this.
Do you have somewhere in all of these places a storage with all your belongings?
Oh yeah.
Because like you left the place where you are from, and like I'm sure you have like some your childhood stuff, maybe from your parents, and then my brain just can't comprehend like how you do this, because we all have our things that value and like we value, and of course we can detach from them when it's necessary, like in your case, but how did you do it?
So when we moved from St. Petersburg to Israel, the rested stuff, like really important for us, we sent it to my parents to Samara City.
Okay.
This was the first step. Then when we moved from Israel to first to nowhere, then to Miami. Um, by the way, I met an auction, like
Auction.
um, charity auction. It was also important for me because I wanted to support Israel. But as I said, I didn't had like I couldn't do it mentally when I was in, but when we moved from Israel, I decided to make a charity auction. And as I'm blogger, as I'm Gastrodiva, I have and I love all this kitchen stuff, all these plates bought like on thrift market in Paris, in Rome, etc. So there were plenty of beautiful things. And I decided to make this auction. It's also was a very inspiring thing for me. And the rest of the stuff is now holding my family in Israel.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
They have it for you.
Then they sent something when we finally moved to Miami. So it's something like this.
Okay, awesome. Because in my mind, I just envisioned that you left everything behind and relocated so much to find your new home, which is partially true, but then it's awesome that you still have your stuff in Russia. So that's awesome. Okay.
But I even don't remember what I have in Russia.
Right? Because it's been so long.
Yes.
Oh my God. And so, how long you've been here? Just recently, right?
Yes, so we moved it was like MVP. We started living here in March. We lived in Miami we were living for 2 or 3 months. Then we had a vacation in Europe, in Italy, and after this vacation, we finally moved to Miami in August. So
24?
yes, so it's only like half of the year.
Oh my God! Oh my God! She's new.
Yes.
Oh Oh my goodness. So, what has been so far in these 6 months of your life in America the toughest part? Was it like adaptation, language, culture, money, or friendships? What was like the toughest for you and your family?
I think toughest is first adaptation, like for first 2 or 3 months.
Yes.
When you know every task which is really so easy to do, but it takes so long time and so much energy from you. Yeah, and I think money is also, in general, I think that money is the easiest question that people can deal with, because the main is your relationship and your health. And money is something that you can do, that you can influence on.
Okay.
But of course, as we are starting like for the third time from the beginning, of course, it's a process.
Yes.
So we are like moving forward.
Yes, I can only imagine that's just a lot. I don't like I'm proud of you for being able to relocate from different countries so often and like focus on your family and on yourself and your daughter and your career. Like that's very impressive for me. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
It's huge.
I feel your support, and I now feel that this podcast is some kind of therapy for immigrants.
Yes, I feel like this podcast is for people like us, like you and I, who came here, didn't really have that much or didn't really know that much and needed like guidance. And for whoever is listening, I just want to make you feel like you are in the right place to feel seen, heard, inspired, and that's the point of this podcast.
Yeah, you are not alone.
You are not alone. Yes, you're not alone.
This episode is brought to you by Maza Events, Miami's luxury event planner and your go-to for unforgettable celebrations. Let Maza Events craft a romantic experience you will never forget. Booking form is in the show notes.
So, if you have to sum up the immigration journey you've been through from Russia to Israel, from Israel to all the European little places to Miami, how do you think that shaped you into who you are today?
I think it changed me a lot. I think there are two things in my life which changed me. The first one is my maternity experience. It was like one big point, and the immigration journey. But it's not the point. It is the process. So I feel it. I think immigration journey is some kind of catalyst. So if you need personal growth, you can choose like to go to Tony Robbins, or you can go to your immigration journey. That's it. Or to do both.
Or to do
I'm
both.
choosing to do both, by the way.
Me too. I've done that too. I've done Tony Robbins.
I haven't done Tony Robbins yet. But last period that I was talking to you of our trip to America, I was constantly learning coaching online. So it doesn't matter from which time zone. I was like 0 a.m. like doesn't matter. I was learning coaching, and I love that. And I think coaching also helped me a lot in this journey.
I'm so proud of you, really. So when you're talking about like the way of thinking and self-development, you seem to be very interested in this. So tell us, what is your mindset? Like how do you keep your sanity in this entire process that you've done?
I think first of all, as I told you, I had happy childhood.
Yes.
And this is my basics. So I know how it should be. Second is therapy.
Yes.
So, especially in the immigration journey, I think we should have their so more than usual support.
Absolutely. I'm all in
Yeah.
for therapy. I wouldn't be able to survive my life without it. Definitely not the
Exactly.
immigration process without it. So I'm all in for it. So you seek
Yeah.
therapy, you seek help, and who is your like inspirational coach that you look up to?
You know, it isn't a coach. I love learning like human stories. I always inspired by women who can hold all together, like several kids, several businesses, deep relationships with husband. These stories inspired me.
Inspire you.
Yeah.
Well, you are like them.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm not sure. I feel myself that I'm on my way.
You are on your way,
Yeah,
of course,
but
but I can already
I'm trying.
see you. I can see your vision and I can see you already being that. It's just a
Thank
matter
you.
of the time when it's going to
Thank you.
step by
You're so
step
kind
get
to
there.
me. Thank
Of
you.
course, of course. Uh, when you think of, if you have to describe this process, immigration process, with one word, what do you think that would be?
Adventure.
Adventure of a lifetime, huh? And when you look back, so far you've only been here for a couple months, but I'm sure you already have some wow moment where you are like, you know what, I'm proud of myself.
It was the moment where we met with you.
Oh, on the events,
Yes.
yes. So I've recently met Zina on one of the events, which was like a Valentine's party and a birthday party of our mutual friend. And Zina was hosting and guiding the culinary experience where we were learning how to make pasta, but not regular pasta. It was a pink pasta with like a heart shape filled with cheese, lemon. Am I missing something?
Yeah, ricotta cheese.
Ricotta
first.
cheese, and she has like a cute aprons and she had a cute outfit on, and there was about 20 to 30
Yes.
ladies, and it was like a full-on planned event, and it was so beautiful, and I'm very glad I met you that day.
Thank
because
you. Me also. I'm
Yes.
so grateful for this event, not only because it was like really something out of my comfort zone. By the way, it was my first English speaking workshop in US.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
So I used to have like English speaking workshops, but it was in Russia, and it was for also not for native speakers.
So it was in Russian language?
No, it was in English,
in English.
but hosted in Russia.
Oh,
so
I see.
This one is like something like I feel this is on next level for me. But I also grateful for this experience because of you, because of all these
the ladies.
beautiful ladies.
Yes.
It's amazing surrounding here.
Yes, shout out to Chelsea and Terry for organizing this
Thank
event.
you.
Thank you, ladies. Oh, that's so nice. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. What is one piece of advice you would give to our listeners who are either immigrating or planning on immigrating? What is the advice you would give them?
You know what I think? What helped me in this journey, besides happy childhood and therapy, I think I started my routine. Like
What is it
I
for you?
started running every morning. Like of course not every morning, but I'm consistent on it, and. I don't know. It could be like different activities. This one that suits you, but you have to stick to them.
So like routine?
Yeah.
Habits and routine?
Yeah, I think this because like in the world, everything can change, but this is your personal life that you can take from one country and move to another country.
Yes, it's something no one's gonna take away from you
Yeah,
because it's you working on you, right?
exactly. Yeah.
I love that. So that also builds discipline, and discipline builds long-term
100%.
habits and goals and everything.
100%. Coming back to your question about like how I was shaped by
Being an immigrant.
yes, discipline is like number one skill that I how to say like
Mastered
mastered exactly
or learned.
mastered.
Yeah, mastered.
Yeah.
And so, what is your definition of success then?
My definition of success and is something that you feel inside. So it doesn't depends on
Career or
so you know, of course it depends. Like it depends because if you are on your path, if you are doing something connected with you, with your vision, with your values, etc., you will feel this inside.
Yes.
But
like a
for
full.
me, like when I wake up in the morning, when I feel it, so it is success. It's not something big, something, you know.
Are you maybe referring to a purpose or a fulfillment?
Fulfillment.
Fulfillment?
Yes, I think it's something near to this.
So, what makes you feel fulfilled then?
What makes me?
Or to rephrase it, what makes you happy?
It's a lot of different things. As I'm Gastrodiva, of course, good quality, tasty food makes me happy for sure. Like trip to Italy, to Paris makes me happy. But honestly, like no joking, of course, it is my way of being, how I feel. It is my family. Like for example, nowadays my parents are in Miami. They came to visit us, and I'm really happy.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, like my husband, my daughter, and my journey on my Gastrodiva career. So it depends on the periods and depends on my purposes, but these are like puzzles of myself. And if something is forgotten or missing, I don't feel this fulfillment.
Oh my god, I love how you're connected and tuned to what makes you happy, to what gives you purpose, to what makes you feel fulfilled and what's important for you. I can tell that you clearly have the right values in place, which is family and staying on your mental health and career. And I think that's beautiful and refreshing, and I love that. So, attention, listeners. Don't forget to leave us a review to help this podcast grow. You can also subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Instagram and Spotify to keep up with the latest episodes. And now, thank you so much for flying the Unstoppable Immigrant airwaves, and let's get back to the show. You are a culinary blogger. You also lead cooking masterclasses where you teach people to cook pasta and other different dishes. And on the top of that, you are wife and mom. So tell us all about this. Tell us about your career. Tell us about the Gastrodiva.
Okay, so I love cooking from my childhood. I cooked my first cake at the age of 6, I guess. So when you know, there is funny story when people asked me in my childhood who you want to become. I answered I want to be a chef, but my mother told me like you know, like Eastern European mother, you understands me well. She told me, no, you shouldn't be a chef, you will be fat.
Oh my
so
goodness.
so I told like okay, then I want to be a photo model. So that's the story how I became the culinary blogger.
That's quite a difference from being a chef to being a model.
I don't know, like
But yeah, the stigma about being a fat cook is also engraved in our philosophy, and
but you
that's what
know,
my grandma used to tell me. If you're
but
gonna cook, you're gonna be fat, and if you eat a lot, you're gonna be fat. I guess
yes,
that's
it
why I don't
is.
cook.
Everything from the childhood.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm really grateful to my mother because now I understand that to be a cook, to be a chef, it's
Art.
art from the one side, and I love this side, but from the other side, it's very difficult physically and mentally. It's very difficult job, and that's why there are so many chefs, men, not women, because it really
It's a labor. People
yeah,
do not see what is behind the scenes.
yeah,
They only see like the great
the art.
presentation, good looking dish, the art. But there's hours standing in the kitchen, preparing, chopping, freezing, unfreezing. Oh my god.
Yeah,
What is
exactly.
your what is your favorite part from being a cook? What do you enjoy the most?
Interesting question. Thank you. Uh, um, I think, of course, I love the last part, like plating, serving, all
Yes.
these beautiful things. You can understand me well as
Yes,
a
that is
event.
my favorite part.
Yes,
I don't enjoy cooking at all. I don't do it at all, but I love plating, decoration, creating the dinner table. But you are what I'm missing, which is the cooking.
yes, and I also love feeling the process. You
Yes.
know, like when you cook like good quality products, it's also, I call it color therapy, aromatherapy. I love all these
I never
things.
looked at it that way. I
Now you
like it.
should with me.
Yes, yes. I enjoyed your cooking class.
Yeah, and by the way, pasta cooking class, I call it pasta therapy because working with the dough, looking
Oh,
on this
yes.
long tagliatelle, how
Yes.
it's cutting, it's totally therapy.
It is. So we had a table set up, and she had the doll, like looking like a little ball, and we each got our own doll. And when I started to like play with it, I was like, oh, this just feels so good. But yeah, it's definitely a therapy. I really enjoyed it. And okay, so what you don't enjoy about cooking?
I'll tell you, and it is connected with my first part of their answer. Um, it can be art and therapy when it is not obligatory to you.
Yes.
So the part which is connected with my, motherhood, like being a mother and wife.
Nourishing and
Yes, it is the other side of it, and for this part, as I'm Gastrodiva and I'm really experienced in cooking, I created my own system of preps. So I call it like clever cooking. I
clever cooking.
spend time in my kitchen talking about, something that like we need. Not I want to cook. Like we need basically to nourish my family. I call it clever cooking, and I spend like at maximum I think 3 hours per week for cooking. I do the preps. I freeze a lot of things, and because of this, I have an inspiration to cook as a gastrodiva. Because I'm calm that my family will
Yeah,
have.
it's taken care of.
Yes.
That's beautiful. And how often do you have the master classes? Like, if the listeners want to join your master classes, where they can find you, how often you have them, tell us more details about it.
So mostly I do private workshops, so you can DM me and we'll set up all the details. I also a few days ago, I've been to New York before our
Event.
Valentine's party, yeah, and we launched the project called Plate and Palette, where we made it in collaboration with artist expert. So we combine workshop and art lecture. So and
Cool.
this project is open for everybody. The next we are planning to launch it March, but I can't tell you the exact date. So follow me and you'll get all
Follow
the
so you can keep
details.
up with the next one. So they can, so it's private, so people can hire you for their events.
Yeah, sure. For birthdays, for I forgot how it called, like before the wedding,
Bachelorette
bachelor
parties.
parties. Yeah,
Yes.
for corporate events. I also it always. I think now you can also understand me well. The pastor workshop is best team building ever. Because it combines all this, everybody become as Italian family truly,
Yes.
and it is really funny
Everybody's going through
process.
the process together, building
Yes.
something from scratch. And it's therapeutic and it's community, it's beautiful.
Yes, and the most beautiful thing that everything ending with the tasty, delicious food which we
Yes.
made by our hands.
Yes, I loved it. I highly recommend it. It was a lot of fun. And outside of the cooking classes, what are your other projects? I saw on your Instagram, and we spoke about it, that in the past you've done like a pop-up, how to call it, like a pop-up restaurant,
Cafe, restaurant.
pop-up coffee, let's say.
Yeah.
And what is next for you? What would you like to do? What would you like to do in Miami with Gastrodiva?
For now, I'm looking to two directions. The first one is workshops, and the second is blogging. So I'm looking to, I don't know, like partnerships, some kind of this, because I'm taking it like seriously. I also do like consistent work on it. I love this. Connection from online to offline, this balance.
Yes.
It's something that suits me well, being wife and mother.
So you're a culinary blogger and you also have your own YouTube channel.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more about it.
I've started my YouTube channel in COVID. It was my daughter was 9 months only.
Wow.
And as my husband is a film director, and as I previously also hosted workshops, all these things we were together at home, and we decided to launch our YouTube channel. It is with recipes, but it's in Russian. Unfortunately, in my immigration journey, I stopped YouTube. Um, Especially because I need like kitchen, all the equipment, and moving from different apartments, it was really hard. But I still keep the dream to continue it now in English.
Yes.
Especially because everybody asks, as my husband is YouTube producer.
Yes.
So how it is that so I have my YouTube channel, but I have to put it on next level.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the new goal.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Perfect.
And your podcast is also one little puzzle. So to being a guest in podcast, so next step I have to come back to my own YouTube channel.
Yes, I'm very happy we are doing this. You are great so far. So, Gastrodiva is obviously your passion project, your baby, you live through it. What would you like to achieve in Miami? Who is your dream client? Or what is the dream venue you want to work with? Or what, if you could dream vividly without any limitations, what would be the dream for you in Miami?
Thank you for such question. um, I think, yeah, first of all, if we're talking about like my best client, my best partnership, I want to host workshops for big brands,
Yes.
as Miami is full of them. So I'm ready for you.
Yes.
And talking about venue, of course, it is some kind of venue which is, first of all, which is technically equipped for my workshops. So with the good kitchen, yes. But for me, it's also important. The second part is some kind of aesthetic things. So this is like my best future venue.
Yes, maybe
That's
like
it.
Italian restaurant or a home that has like a Spanish Italian architecture.
It doesn't matter, like I'm not stick to one style, but in general, yeah, beautiful and technically equipped place.
Yes, we never know. This is Miami. Miami is full of opportunities, full of amazing people. Maybe one day you will cook with, I don't know, Victoria Beckham.
Why not?
Why not?
Victoria,
Yes.
I'm here for you.
All right, I have another question for you related to English. So, do you have one word that gives you a hard time to pronounce?
Oh, I have, you know what? I've started doing the restaurant reviews in Reels, in Instagram, and I'm shooting it like as it is, and then I put the voiceovers.
Yes.
And the first voiceover I spent, I think, 3 hours
Redoing the
to
voiceover.
record it.
Yes.
Because when you film something, when you talk to each other, it's like natural process.
Yes.
And when you have only 1 minute of the time, and you listen exactly every single word, and oh, it was like nightmare. So I can't tell you like something specific. I don't remember, but spelling is
Spelling gives you a
something,
hard time.
like, as I always have good, how to say, like musical. I hear well the mistakes. And it's funny that my daughter now, she goes to school, and I'm really jealous in a good sense that she has this perfect pronunciation from her childhood. And
She speaks perfect English, right?
yeah, so now I'm learning from her.
Yes, that is so cute. I do have like one tongue twister for you. Are you ready?
Oh, let's try.
So I'll show you this.
I wasn't ready yet, but let's try.
You got it, you got this. I believe in you. So first I'll show this to our listeners. This is my tongue twister that I always love to do with my guests.
It is the same one, or you?
So it's one sentence ish, one sentence, and I would love you to say it 3 times, but each time faster. Like fast, 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 fast.
Okay.
All right, are you ready?
Blue glue gun, green glue gun. Blue glue
Fast.
gun, green glue gun. Blue glue gun, green glue gun. Blue glue gun. Blue glue gun, green glue gun. Blue glue gun, green glue gun.
You are good. She's too good. This doesn't count.
It
That was
funny.
great.
It
That was
funny.
great. You sounded like. Oh my gosh. Okay, we are getting to our final questions. All right. So I have these bonus questions for you, and it's one word answer.
Okay.
Ready?
I have to think well.
Yes, feeling well. All right, the first question is, what's the first thing you think of when someone says America?
It's American flag.
Okay. What's the best food you've tried in America?
Best food?
Food.
Oh wow! You know who to ask this
Yes, you're the pro.
question.
It could be international, it doesn't need to be American.
I know what to answer.
Let's hear it from the culinary
In
expert.
New York, there is sugarfish sushi.
Okay.
Also, there is the same, it is the chain. They have one in Los Angeles. So, this sushi is something like, if you haven't tried yet, you should, because it's something from different planet of sushi. The quality of fish, the rice is warm, by the way, and all this process, how it's serving. So I love it. It is the best one.
What's the name of it again?
Sugarfish sushi.
Sugarfish sushi.
Yeah, by the way, I also made the review in my Instagram. You can easily find it.
Okay, we will check it out.
Yeah.
And what is the worst food you had?
Oh. It was an omelette in the hotel in Miami. I don't remember the name of the hotel, and I won't tell it.
Yeah,
but
maybe
it's
it's better
something
not
like
to say.
I don't remember. So it was like hotel breakfast omelette.
Bad
It was.
experience.
There was no other food, and I chose orange instead of omelette. Only orange for my breakfast because I couldn't eat it at all.
Wow. Which American celebrity would you swipe your life with for a day?
Like, you mean to make friendship, or what?
To swap life. Swipe, swap, swap, swap.
Could you?
That means like if you could be someone for one day, who would it be? Could be also a Russian celebrity if you want to say.
Wow. You know, frankly speaking, I'm not sure the celebrity life is so happy. And
That's a
so
great answer.
easy.
That's a real answer.
That's
I love
why
it.
I'm not sure I'm ready for that.
You give me
I
the
want to be the celebrity by myself, and to be on my way, and with all my background. I don't want to take somebody's problems and somebody's like.
you give me the vibe that you just love your life so much that like you don't care about anybody else. And I love it.
I'm trying to be like that. To feel
That
it.
gives like such a content and peace and serenity. You have that vibe, like a very calming, like I love it.
Thank you.
I think you should pick it up. I think it's your bright future calling you.
Okay. Hello, who is this?
This is your bright future calling you. What are your big wishes?
So, I think I'm ready for my own big, beautiful house in Miami. In Rome, in Paris. I'm ready for my at least one, but maybe two kids. I'm ready for continuing deep love with my husband. I'm ready for my own restaurant in Miami and maybe worldwide, called Gastrodiva, of course. I'm ready to be happy on this way in my future.
Alright, your wish is my command.
So, Zina, thank you so much for being the guest on the Unstoppable Immigrant podcast. You are my first Russian guest. I'm very happy to have you. And I'm also happy that this is your first podcast experience since you moved to America. So that makes me very happy. I'm very grateful to have you. And I hope our listeners can take a lot from this podcast. If you want to connect with Zina, you can find her on Instagram as the Gastrodiva, and you can also book her masterclasses. And yes,
thank you, Martina, for having me. It was really great experience for me, and as I said, it is some kind of therapy for immigrants. Thank you for doing what you are doing. It's great, and I wish you luck. I wanted to ask you all these questions that you asked for me, like what is
Yes.
your dream? I don't know if your subscribers know the answers for these questions or no.
So all of the answers.
Talking about this podcast, what are your dream about?
My dream is for this year to really grow it and through this podcast to help as many immigrants as possible.
Wow.
And of course, like work with brands and create a movement.
I love this idea because it's like win-win-win for everybody.
Yes. And it's very purposeful. Like
Exactly.
it nourishes the soul. For the
sure.
producer, for me, for the
I feel
guests.
this.
Yes, but all the answers about my immigration journey and my reason why I moved to America and the reason why I started this podcast and about Maza events and everything is the very first episode of the podcast that is available on YouTube. So we can list it up there. You can find the link for it. And yes, thank you again
Thank you so
for being
much.
here,
It
finding
was
the
my pleasure.
time, sharing the vulnerable story and everything about Israel and Miami and everything. And I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. I wish you
Yes.
luck also. It was
Thank
my
you.
pleasure to be there.
Yes, thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right. Thank you so much for flying with Unstoppable Immigrant Airways. We hope this podcast brought you joy, motivation, inspiration, and connection. Feel free to share this episode with someone who really needs to hear it. And until next time, stay unstoppable.